Hey, what's up, guys? Man, it's gonna be raining. The clouds are moving super fast up there. Check that out. Zooming right by. Anyways, it's gonna be raining here pretty soon. It looks like it already has rained. I like leaving my battery charger hooked up and out in the rain like this, but it's gonna be raining all day, which is fine. We'll be inside the shop for most of it. Show you what we have going on. We have the charger's been on all night, and old Franny might start this morning. These batteries are pretty old. Will it start? Hell, I don't know. Nope. Those batteries are not gonna make it. So we'll go ahead and discombobulate it. It's kind of frustrating, but wintertime is hard on batteries. If you ever in a cold climate, you know that you can have batteries start every day. Start your truck every day. Start right up. And then the minute it gets cold out, the batteries just won't do anything ever again. This battery charger is kind of a piece of crap anyways, but I figured it would at least get the thing to start. What we'll do is we'll take these batteries out today and take those batteries out today, bring them inside, get them on the little reconditioning charger. Lots to do today, lots and lots to do today. We'll get the heater on, get the humidity out. It sucks that it's going to rain though, because I did have plans to paint. I'd like to get this car off this hoist, but one thing after another. Alright, so it's going to be a little loud because the heater's on, but we've been working on the grill. We got a few spots welded up. I'm going to move this over there today and wrap up the Everlast Cyclone 262 and the Miller Dynasty 210BX and get those out of the way. We got some pieces in from powder coat. I'm not going to say I'm 100% satisfied with the way they turned out. I mean, it is much better than it was. There's a couple of bolts that I missed that need to be worked on a little bit. For the most part, it looks okay, but I didn't realize that it was going to be as revealing as it is. But anyways, we got the original tanks done. We're going to take a peek inside and make sure there's no sand in there, and we're going to try and get these things hooked up today. So that'd be the first thing. We'll move that grill, wrap these welders up and move them out of the way. We'll get these brackets installed today, and they turned out really nice. We'll get these brackets installed, and we'll get the tank clamps installed, and we'll put a little painter's tape in there so it doesn't scratch it up. We'll get these tanks looked at. I think they're going to be fine. The two busts will be back here, and then the least of the busts will be up forward because you can't really see it. And we'll get those tanks mounted up in here. We'll probably I have to decide right here if I'm going to put there's a little bit of pitting on these brackets. That's no worse than what's on the frame, but I wasn't able to get it all perfect. I could have made some new ones of these, but it's okay. So I think what I'll do, let me just get a look. You know, this is one of those things where, in hindsight, I should have done a better job and made new ones of these. There's nothing we can really do about it. I could have made different ones. The problem is this is not a standard size, and I did inquire about getting some, but it was going to have to be one of those things where you had to have it made, and I just wasn't going to do that. You know, some guys are going to have a different opinion about, you know, how far to go on a restoration. This truck is a show truck in the I don't know how to say it. This is a show truck, but it's not a this is a show truck, but it's not a $1 million show truck. I don't have a big parts business backing me up financially. So there's that. You know, if I was, you know, semi-casual or Forest State or Highway 80 or something and had, you know, $1 billion worth of revenue every year, a guy could probably, you know, spend $250,000 on restoring a truck, but I don't. I'm not, and I don't, and that's just the way it is. Now, a guy could take a piece of stainless, you know, and he could cut it out and stick it in here and use stainless fasteners and have that polished piece of stainless in there. But, you know, A, I don't have time, and B, I don't have the money to you know, I can't. I'm already in this truck. Like, you know, you see these show trucks that, you know, that are winning competitions. They got $500,000 or more in those trucks. And again, I'm a single payer. You know, my YouTube channel doesn't pay for my utility bill, really. So. I can tell you that I make about $15,000 a year from YouTube, and I spend about 1,000 hours just filming and editing and uploading and creating thumbnails and all that. So I make about 15 bucks an hour to work on trucks, and I imagine that you can probably imagine what just my parts bill alone is. So, you know, this isn't a paying adventure. Now, there are YouTubers that do make good money and are able to fund their whole YouTube channel from their ad revenue, but I don't. And you know, it sucks a little bit. But I'm not in this to make money. I mean, I'd love to make money on YouTube. I'd love to break even, you know, and have my trucks paid for by the channel. That'd be sweet, but it's not a realistic expectation. That being said, would be helpful if we could increase revenue by selling some merch and stuff. So I'm just going to take a little bit of painter's tape and I'm going to put it inside the clamp area. Just to try and keep the tanks from getting scraped up. I'm going to slide that tank in there, and I want to be able to move it around a little bit without having to worry about scratching the heck out of the tank, just in case I decide I want to move it. Yeah, you take a brand new track mat and you blow up a wire wheel on it and then don't pick the wires out. That's a dick move, actually. Come on, dude. Let's get a look. Okay, sort of just been looking at is this tank, and I don't know if it's an optical illusion, but it looks like it's tipped towards the front, and then once the air goes up, it's going to be a lot more towards the front. I don't know that it matters. I'll grab a tape measure and just kind of pull it across there and see what I see. About 16.5. It's weird, right? Because this front one's higher by a quarter, but it sure looks like the tank goes downhill, but it really can't. The bolt's about 17 3/4. This one's about the same. That's good. This has already started off to be one of those trips home where stuff is harder than it should be, and it's okay. We're just going to persevere, and it's going to be fine. We shall get these things done up. And, okay. Ooh, conked myself on the noggin. That's all right. She's pretty tough. She's a pretty tough noggin. All right, so. All right, there's one installed. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I like it. Now we'll get the fittings out, cleaned up, and re-put back on, and hook up the air lines. And then we'll go over to the other side. I'm not really sure how it goes yet, but we'll find the fittings and go clean up. We'll be right back. So we'll get you in position. This is a kind of a distance thing. It's not really it's going to work out great, and you really need to see a bunch of stuff. But basically, what we're going to have here is I got these fittings cleaned up, and I'm going to get my photos out. And this is the right tank front is this right tank front, and this looks like it's the top one. Okay, and it points up. So what we'll do is we're going to put a little dope on it. Okay, and now we've had this discussion about pipe dope. Pipe dope is not a sealant per se. Pipe dope is a lubricant, and basically it lubricates the threads so that when tightened to the proper torque, the threads have gone deep enough into the fitting to seal. And so we will get a croissant. Yeah, that's not right at all, because that there doesn't fit in that there hole. And that's not even close to being the right fitting. So I'm likely to be a little bit confused, because this was clearly on that fitting, but right tank front. So as you can see by this photo, that fitting does not have that big adapter on it. And so we're not sure how right tank front how that works. Because these two are not the same. So now I'm a little bit confused because you saw me just take this off of there. Now I am thinking that this one is the same. Let me see. Top. That's so weird, right? Because that clearly fits this one. I don't know. I don't know how that changed because I didn't take it off and change it, but obviously this one is the top right front, and this is the fitting that's shown in the picture. Pretty funny, actually. It looks like the next thing is this, and it goes in the center, and then the bottom one just gets a plug. So we'll get this gooped up with some schmutz. Schmutz is the official term for this white stuff. Schmutz. That's my dad's word, schmutz. I find that the older I get, the more I am like my dad as far as mannerisms, I guess. You know, I'm always saying silly stuff like bing bang boom, Bob's your uncle, calling stuff a doomaflicky, because, you know, can't remember what a thing is really called. Let me get up under here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see me under here, but that's okay. Some of this is going to get cut out anyway, because, you know, just because the wonderful things does. Okay, schmutz is out. That's a nice bushing. We may need that for something, so we'll hang on to it. Now we do need a thingy do. What goes in the back of this? Looks like all we have left is this big in here, which we know is going to go in the center because it's the only hole it fits in. We may just clean the threads up and put that right back in. But we'll put a little schmutz on this fitting. And again, you know, schmutz is proper terminology. And I'm not used to working on stuff that's, you know, clean and painted, and so it's challenging. You know, compared to what I'm used to. But I mean, I don't. It's not horrible. Oh, that's cool. I'd wondered how long it'd be before I dropped a wrench on the tank. Alright, so this is taking a lot longer than I expected. But it's supposed to rain today anyways, so we're probably not going to get to paint. So yeah. Okay. Let's see. So aside from that, those two bottom ports, let me decide what I'm gonna do there and I'll bring it back. All right, so we're going to push this stuff over to the other side. We'll rig up those brackets right quick. Ooh, ouch. Rug burn. All right, I like it. You like it? I like it. So now we'll put, we'll get some short ones and we'll put the brackets in. And then we'll slip a tank in there. Put the bottom brackets on and set a tank on. Put the top brackets on. Obviously I broke the bolts, so we got new bolts. And yeah. Feels like the first time. All right. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I love that. Those look so nice. Wow. I spent $1,000 on new ones. And these look better than the new ones by a bunch. All right. So. All right, I like it a lot, actually. And hopefully that's where the tanks are gonna stay, because that way they're not scratched up. Yeah, this one's bent just a fuzz, but that's okay. It's kicked in just a tad. I don't think anybody will notice. It looks really good, actually. Bottom left, front. Oh, that just goes from tank to tank. That's good. We might actually cut this one to the right length now. I'll wait to see where that falls in at. I don't know what this one does. What does this one say? Top left rear. Okay. So it's going to go to here. Okay, we'll get some fittings. It's kind of dark right here. We really need another light right here over the truck. All right, guys, so We finished up installing the brackets and the air tanks and all the air lines back on Betty, and so that's done, and that looks really nice. I wasn't sure how the old tanks were going to turn out with sandblast and powder coat, but did a super job on that. So I've got 3 new tanks that I can't use now, so that was a waste of $1,000. Took 6 hours to sandblast the cabinets and the tanks. Took 6 bags of powder to get them powder coated. Cost $1,300. And at first you think, whoa, $1,300, but they look like $1 million. The new tanks would have been 1,000 of that anyways. And I got the step boxes sandblasted and double powder coated. And you know, they're not perfect, but they're unobtainium, and unless I'm going to have somebody build me some new ones, they're going to be just fine. And so what I'm going to do right now is I've got the grill right here, and there was a couple of these, you know, it had gotten hit by something and it broke a couple of these squares out, and it gouged out a bunch, and then there was a bunch that were just mangulated and bent. We straightened that all out, me and my metal guy, Derek. He came over and we warmed it up, straightened it out. Now what we're going to do, we also put some weld in where some spots were and where these are broken. So now we're going to clean that weld up, and then we're going to sand this whole thing down and see how it's going to work out. We've got some 220, some 400, and some 600. And I think we've got some pretty aggressive file belt sander. We also had some spots up here. I'll show you. I'll bring you up closer so you guys can see all of what we were just talking about, because you just can't appreciate it until you see it. But you see those were broke off, and we straightened them out and welded them up, and we'll get them cleaned up. And we might need a little touch more weld here and there, or maybe just a file, and clean those up. It's not going to be perfect, but this is unobtainium. Also, there was a spot that got hit on a screw when I had the hood sitting on it, and it punctured a little hole, which we welded up and made a little gouge. But we're gonna clean this up and polish this up and see how that works out. Where the bug deflector was, from years of it being loose, it rubbed through, so we welded that up here and here. This one was okay, and a little bit here. We also put a spot here where it took another hit. Now the emblem is not great, but I think what we'll do is we'll take it off and we'll clean it up and maybe paint the outside, and then we'll try and polish the rest of the emblem. Now, it's probably, this corrosion in there is deep, but we're gonna sand it and polish it and see if it looks good. Worst case scenario, we can sand it down until it's all gone, and then we can resin it. Jessica's a resin expert. But also some damage down here on this part. We're just going to try and clean that up, and then once we get that done, we're going to try and polish it. Might have to get Don McCord over here, or Wesley, the guy who did the tanks, depending on who's available. But first of all, let's get you set up right here, and let's try and get those couple of spots right there cleaned up. Let me get some glasses, and let's get after it. Try to take your sanding disc off your DA, before you put it in the toolbox, but it's okay. Use some 220. Just kind of get an idea of what we're dealing with. Well, Q20 is a little aggressive, but it has a lot of pitch, so we're gonna just go with it, and we'll see how it turns out. Right here you see this discolored spot, and it's Cut the tip of my finger. Sucks. Yeah, it still needs a little up here. See how it's low and low here? This looks a lot better, but it needs to go some more. It's not going to be too perfect, but we're going to try. We'll have to clean up the inside too, but remember it used to look like this one. Yeah, that looks really good actually. I don't know how it'll polish. We'll find out. So far, so good. Now I'm going to get a punch, and I'm going to use a punch, and I'm going to try and punch this up a little bit. Yeah. Not sure how well you can see. But Alright, so you see that now this part is good and more closer to this, but we still need to work this part and this part right here. And so it's just a matter of finding the exact place, trying to feel on the back, and but we still need a long ways to go. Put a new sheet on. The thing with metal is you really don't, unless you do this every day, you're guessing as to what works. And just because one body guy who's been doing it for 20 years can bing bang boom slap a dent out in just a couple of minutes doesn't mean that you're going to be able to do it, even if you follow how he's trying to tell you to do it, because there's feel involved. Okay, so what did we learn from that? We got closer on this and closer on this. It's still, to this side of the weld is still a little bit hokey. And even if you get it close to perfect, I don't know. What do we got right now? See, we got a lot closer. We're going to do some more right in here, and right on the other side of that weld there's a little dip. The problem is getting to it is proving to be difficult. You know what I'm saying? You just want to move slow. See, we're real close, real close. We may not get this out. We may not be able to get that out by using the hammer on the back. Now I can still feel a dent right here, so we're gonna try our hardest to get that out, but this feels pretty straight. We'll tap this a couple more times, and we'll tap that a couple more times, and we'll see about getting it out of there. You know, this is a lot of work, but it's just low there, and I don't know how to make it not low. Well, maybe we'll move on from that one and come back maybe after we get the rest of the top done, because we're gonna have to put some more weld in, and we're gonna have to flip it over and get after the back of those, but we're gonna have to put just a touch more weld on. I got to be careful not to hit those hooks. Yeah, I like it. Get another paper. I'm getting where I'm ready to be done for the night. I'm going to do just a little bit in 220, and then I'm going to go over some of it in 400 just to kind of see what I'm in for once I start to try and polish. I'd like to put some 600 on that, but I'm scared. I'm just not sure. Jessica's the resin person. Mike could get it with 1,000. I don't know. Yeah. I could tap that up a little. one more 600 on that Marmon emblem just to see. Then it'll be just a matter of, well, maybe that was 400 I think I used. Nah, it didn't really make any difference. But I think what we can do, I think I can have a piece of aluminum cut in Marmon, and then Jessica can fill it in with resin and make a new one. I mean, not sure. I'm like 100% not sure that I want to. Oh man. I mean, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. I could put some weld in there. I don't know. It's pretty close though. All right, so there it is, guys. I'm hoping them holes up top are fixed. This looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but considering I had a screw right through that thing, it's not too bad. Same as over here. You're gonna see it when we polish it, unless I keep going. I might flip it over and try and bang it up from the back a little bit more. But you know, as far as what it used to be, it looks really good. And then, you know, in here, these were busted off, knocked way over, not square. I gotta tap it up from the back and maybe put a couple more tacks of weld there and a couple of welds there and one there, and then just try and work it. This grill is far from perfect, but they are unobtainium, and so we're gonna keep working it and get it as good as we can and put a polish on it, then put it back on. So anyways, that's it for today, guys. We got the air system back on, Betty, and we tackled some of these dents and dings on the grill, and so we'll keep on trucking. Probably going to take the truck outside if it's nice tomorrow and pressure wash some more stuff underneath and get that thing all sparkle buggy, and then shoot some primer and paint on the frame rails, and we'll get those angles back in over there, and we'll get those boxes set on, and we'll figure out exactly what we need to do as far as the exhaust. We got some pieces coming. Maybe we can get the under the cab exhaust finished and mount it up and get the boxes on. Then we'll just have to rework the downpipe and put some stacks on it. But man, it's just a little bit at a time, and we appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget, thumbs up. Let's get a thumbs up on this unit, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd appreciate you.